So hey guys, welcome back to our podcast here at the Traders Show. Another week here at Financial Hub. So today we're going to talk a lot about psychology, something that many people struggle with in regards to trading, of course, but many people also, it will relate to you in real life as well, not just trading, because we're basically fighting our own demons, things that we face here in the market. And the good thing about the trading markets and why psychology is really important is because it reveals to us our deepest fears, our deepest demons, and we have to fight them. If you don't fight them, you can't move on. Okay, so being able to control your emotions. Remember, some emotions, even most emotions, you can't really do away with them. They're your emotions, they're your demons. You just have to know, be aware of them, put them under control, and know how they can benefit you. So that's it from me. That's the introduction. Boys, what's up? How are you doing today, this week? You guys are good?
Greetings, everyone. Taras here again. Another week, another trading week. It's about to getting to the end. So we've talked about a lot of stuff since we started. Strategies, different strategies, brokers, risk. And today we're going to cover another very important topic, psychology. One of the main pillars in trading. So I think Ken, who is the head of psychology, will be on the spotlight today. So let's learn a lot today.
Pops, what's up?
A winning trading week. A beautiful week about psychology. Anyway, I'm having a wonderful week this week. So this week I've had a couple of trades, most of them working to my favor.
Are your wonderful weeks based on the winning trades?
No, it's based on coming back to the markets. I've been taking a break. I'll tell you why, the reasons why psychology is important. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about trading psychology. If everything works for you in trading and psychology fails, you've still failed. If everything fails and psychology works, you still stand a chance. Anyway, that's my belief. I'll share with you why I believe that you can get it. You'll get the lesson rather when we'll be going through some of the things we'll be tackling. Looking at markets. Last week we had some big moves. Gold coming back from 1900 to traders low as 1760. We've seen the Dow coming back from 35,000 to traders low as 33,500. Dollar, a rebound from 90 to 92, and now we're back to 91.75. Bitcoin from
Cryptos.
70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s. We've gone as low as 29,000 last week. 65,000, I mean. We were close to 70, I think. 65 is close to 70 than 60. Anyway, so...
You're rounding off.
I'm rounding off.
Okay.
Anyway, yep. So I think that's the basic thing. Ethereum back to 1900, 1933. Amazon 3,500. The Nasdaq defying the odds, making new highs, 14,321. Soon we shall see 15,000. Anyway, let's get into the topic. Psychology of trading. How did you even get into psychology? What happened? Did you when you started trading, did you know psychology existed?
No.
You started with baby pips.
Did baby pips teach us psychology?
None.
There's no psychology?
No psychology.
It had?
No.
Dad.
There was no psychology.
I'm Googling it right now.
Serious?
Wait, what did you learn in...
what did you learn about psychology? I don't remember.
The first time we came into psychology was McDouglas, trading in the zone.
Trading in the zone, yeah. I think so.
Suko hakuna psychology, bro. Trust
Yeah,
me.
also
man.
It can't miss.
Even the book, currency markets, it didn't have, yeah?
No, that one had.
It had.
That one had.
It did.
That one had. But you couldn't relate, yani.
Yeah, that time we could. That's
Yeah,
why
like
exactly.
we couldn't relate.
Our
We
main
still
goal
knew.
was just to
But even
just to trade.
in baby pips, there was no psychology, I swear. There was none.
School of
I'm already
Pipsology.
None.
If you've not
None.
gone through baby pips, bad though, you're still new to this game. Everyone has gone through baby pips.
There was no psychology, Lawi.
Check.
There is.
You found?
Yeah.
Then it's new kid. Ama.
Yeah.
Allah, psychology.
Yeah.
What about it?
Hebu give us the topics covered. Unajua anza kwa kutusomea hapa gold bulls sijini. Tell me the topics. Managing emotions, such things. Are they covered? No.
Measure of loss, maintaining consistency. Reasons to refrain from
To
taking
refrain from.
trades.
Refrain?
Anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't deep. But me, I remember the book had,
The book had, the mastering the currency market had.
Yeah,
some
but
psychology.
when you got to psychology, I think it was that lecture by Mark Douglas. I think it was a
The
4-hour. No, the book plus the lecture. There's a long lecture. He's lecturing. Yeah, he talks a lot about psychology. I think that's when now. I think I even sent you guys that video. That's when I realized, wow, hey, nikunoma huko mbele.
Because first trading, making losses, losing trades or making money, you don't know about the psychological risks.
Yeah.
So you're just trading. Then I think later on you just become aware of them slowly. But these people are the ones who introduced you to it. Also, I don't remember myself. I have psychological problems now. It was like you're saying, Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. That was a good book. Like in Trading in the Zone, he mostly talks about more psychology than like trading systems or anything.
Yeah, just psychology.
Most books actually covering psychology from Dr. Brett, none of them talks about systems.
Yeah.
It's basically
all about psychology,
Van Tap as well,
Yeah, Van Tap. Okay, Van Tap tackles systems.
But now those are different books. Yeah?
Exactly. So he has a couple of books. He tackles systems in some. But even as he tackles system, he still brings in a lot of psychology in that approach that he's using to tackle.
Psychology covers for what percent in trading?
95. Okay, for me, I think, let me categorize it. I think, one, you need to have a working system. I don't believe also psychology is the main problem. Some people just are trading a system which can't work. So I feel like you need to have a working system. Then you also need to manage risk well. I'd give each 10-10.
10-10.
Yeah, then I'd give 80% psychology. Why? Because I feel like for you even to manage risk and follow the rules, you need to be aware of what's happening around you. So I'd give psychology a very big percentage for your success in trading. You really need to work on yourself if you're going to succeed in this game.
And that's what we'll talk about today, yeah?
Yep.
The rest you believe the same?
Okay, for me, I always tie risk and psychology together.
They're intertwined.
Yeah, they're intertwined. Like one can't work without the other.
Exactly.
So if you fuck up on your psychology, your risk, of course, will be down. If you don't manage risk, of course, if you put bigger trades, you'll be fearful, greedy, maybe. You see, it affects your psychology. So they are one-on-one. So, yeah.
Okay. So any psychological thing before we get into the deep parts? Any psychological experiences that people can relate with, what you've gone through?
Of course, blowing accounts is all about...
What does that make you feel?
Even in that process and after blowing that account, okay, in the process of blowing an account, most people have different experiences. Some people blow accounts slowly, 10%. Some people blow 100% in a day. Yeah. Some people in a week. Yeah,
Gambler.
Yeah. So I think for me, my experience was a loss trap, and that was basically not accepting loss. Like you have a fear, like,
and that's a psychological problem.
Yeah, that's a psychological problem. Like,
was the system telling you to come out?
Yeah, exactly. Like you know exactly you're down more than 30%. You should cut it. That's your value at risk. You know, if I'm down 30%, I should cut my loss there and stop trading for even 2 months. But now, I can't even control that. Risk out of the window. System out of the window. Psychology covering everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
okay.
It has taken you over. So, like you can't think basically. So, loss trap is at the moment you can't put your mind to work. You're now fully hopeful. So, I remember, and I've talked about it a lot in this podcast. My oil loss trap. It was all psychological. Like, how do you see 50% loss and you can't cut it? How do you see 70% loss and you still can't cut it?
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Go.
Like hope and that. I think the fear of accepting a loss, and I think it's in life. Like no one wants to lose. You don't want to lose your parent. You don't want to lose your job.
We've been trained
exactly.
Like that
yeah.
way.
Like to avoid losses heavily. So I think that was what was reigning over my mind that time. So loss trap is what I've experienced psychologically.
Ken?
My experience?
Yeah.
In I have a couple. I have many.
A couple of loads.
Many.
Yeah, that was my main. I also have a lot.
Many,
yeah, of course.
many,
like each trade comes with its own psychological issues.
So for me, I also have a loss trap, my European trade. And you get to a point where you don't think again about how much you're losing or how much you've already lost. You get to a point now where you're hoping.
Yeah.
And if there's something I've learned from trading is to never hope. I don't think I hope nowadays.
Yeah.
Nanga wasa wakihope by the hata nacheka tu.
That's like disease.
Hiyo ni stuff mimi niliacha kitambo sana.
Yeah.
Hoping. I don't hope. If I seriously
Hope is not a strategy.
Hope is not a strategy. And I've seen people in dire situations.
Even in life.
Yeah, hoping. You're hoping.
But I think life is a bit different.
Why?
We'll talk. Okay. In a certain aspect.
Like I don't.
Listen.
Okay, let me listen.
Hopeful.
Let me listen. Let me listen.
It's a fruit of the Bible or something, right?
Okay. Wait.
That's why Caleb is
preacher Rastafari.
Let's listen.
Hope in a sense that, look, right now, you're working towards something you're hopeful for.
No, that's not hope. For me, that's belief.
Belief in what?
You believe in something. You don't hope for something. That's different.
So you don't hope for anything?
I believe in things.
And hope? So hope is out of your vocabulary.
Hope is not even on. But
Where's
I want
my
you
phone?
to
What is-
expound on hope.
Like, look, hope and belief, I think, are almost intertwined as well.
Okay, if you're talking about it from that perspective, then you're on the same page. There's no need to go further.
Look, me, I'm working towards a certain goal. Let's say to become wealthy.
Mm.
That's a goal I have, a dream I have. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So that dream is hooked to the hope that I'll become successful. Okay? The fact that I'm working towards it makes me believe that my hope will come true.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
I feel like you have faith and believe.
Yeah.
Those are different.
Like you're working on that.
Exactly.
thing.
You're faithful, you'll be successful, and you believe in it, and you're working towards it.
Why are you throwing my hope? What is hope?
Hope is...
Wait. What is this hope we're talking about?
We're losing trade.
Now, trading...
Wait. Let's talk about trading. Then we'll understand hope from a perspective of life. So you're on a losing trade.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You have your stop loss placed.
Yeah.
And the markets are going against you.
Okay.
They're moving strongly against you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They've hit your stop loss.
Okay.
Now you've changed your stop loss.
I've moved it.
Exactly. You've moved it or you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Now what remains there is hope.
True.
So
True.
You don't believe, you don't have a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Una hope.
The moment you remove that stop loss,
Exactly.
that strategy is out.
Sasa umeanza kuhope. Hakuna hata hiyo work unasema
Exactly.
believe.
You're not even working towards making it successful. You see?
Now I'm hoping it will come. I'm hoping it will come back.
Yeah. That one.
Now it's the same as in life. You don't have, let me tell you, hope now from my perspective in life.
Okay.
I don't have a job.
Yeah.
I don't have money.
Yeah.
But I hope I'll be rich.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. What did I say? I'm hopeful I'll become rich. The fact that I'm working towards it makes me believe that my hope will come true. Now for you, you're talking about the opposite. You don't have anything, but you're hoping something will work.
Exactly.
Now without action, so you guys are talking about faith without action is dead.
Now, okay, like you are linking what Paps is saying. What Ken
Now
is
let me
saying.
tell you your example for trading in real life. Actually, what you said is true. Let's say for another example. Taras has this beautiful girlfriend they're dating. Now, there's no hope with... Okay, let me not use...
Okay.
Let me not use Taras.
Okay, no problem.
But some guy is dating a girl.
My
girl
beautiful girlfriend.
Now, Taras is beautiful girlfriend. Now, this girlfriend tells Taras, look, I don't see anything working between us. These guys are not even doing something good. They cut it off. Okay? Now, Taras remains hopeful. Stop loss imesongeshwa, imetolewa. Now Taras becomes hopeful that they'll still come back together. Now that hope is stupid.
Why?
Look, this girl cut him off. He trade imeenda loss. Imeenda.
But what if we can work towards it?
You see, those hopes, do you?
But we can work for it. You see, like we can rebuild it.
Like you're no longer hoping, you're working.
You guys don't have to accept this hope.
Like hope.
Yes, look.
Hope in trading is when the stop loss is out.
I know. Look, the hope for trading, I said that one hakuna strategy. That one I accept. But in life,
ushasikia watu wakikwambia wana hope, wanakuanga na strategy.
And if you have
we are hope, we are gonna faith na believe. That's the difference. We are hope.
Okay, get your point.
You get who are hope. He's no longer hoping.
Hope, Google says, a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen.
Bas.
Feeling to una feel to you just feel like
I'm hoping it will come back.
Okay, I get your point. So
I
it's
feel like
the understanding that I'm saying it badly.
Exactly.
So hope aina actions
Once you've
never
got-
stuff.
yeah,
Ni
hope-
feelings.
yeah, hope ni
Once you've
feelings too.
decided
We'll
now to
come
start
back to
working
it.
towards it.
Mhm.
Now you have changed everything. Now you no longer hope.
Okay. I
Yeah.
get your point.
You get?
Okay.
Because I've seen people, mi nikikwambia hivyo na observe. Like unaona,
hey,
you
let's
have,
hope.
you have. Like you have,
Another explanation here says hope is an optimistic state of mind that is based on an expectation of positive outcomes with respect to events and circumstances in one's life.
Expectations. Expectations.
Umeharibu.
Sawa majamaa.
Umeharibu kabisa.
Today I'm open-minded. I've taken your case, which makes sense. It makes sense. It does.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not.
for me, I think
makes sense.
I've gotten to that point. Trading has taught me not to hope something will happen. Like
Hope,
bury your head.
to cherish a desire with anticipation of something to happen or to be true.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So if you believe in something, it's very different from I hope for something.
Okay.
And even the effects of believing in something and hoping for something are different. Msi ana believe ukiona utaiona hata kwa macho yako. Mtu ana hope anakuanga desperate. Anakuanga desperate ana hope. I'm hoping this will happen. Hawezi hope. Haiwaki hivyo.
Hope is not a strategy.
It's not a strategy.
Out of the window.
So how do you avoid getting hopeful in markets?
I just have to be grounded in reality. I feel like that's where we begin. So first things first, I feel like the first thing you should start with is, for me, the goal of psychology is just one in the markets. First, understand yourself. There are two things
Know
you need
yourself.
to understand for you to trade well. One, you need to understand how markets work.
Yeah.
That's where you start. Like you go to Baby Pips, usome bubbles, usome history
Like
of
understand
markets.
it deeply.
Exactly. Ujue, okay, when markets overvalue, this is what happens. Now you understand that. That's one phase.
Yeah.
Then the second phase is to understand yourself. Most people can do the first. The second one, most people give up on it.
And why is that?
Because it's hard work, man.
Plus, it's ingrained deep
Deeply
in human
you.
nature.
Yeah,
Like
What
deep,
is ingrained? What are you saying?
those psychological challenges which we are going to talk through.
like it's human nature.
It's human
tackling
nature.
yani how you're programmed.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like,
Now
bro,
change your
almost how many million years of human
Programming.
existence you have to change, bro, ndo kuwa successful.
And then you're changing how your brain is wired.
Yeah.
childhood.
Ujue brain yako iko wired.
Genetically.
Hey,
Bro,
kitu
hiyo
si
kitu
rahisi.
ni noma bana.
Hey, hapo ndo
Hapo
challenge.
hasa ndo 99 people, 99%
Give up.
Wanaacha hiyo kitu.
inawachenga bana. Unadhani
Kusoma huko market inawakaje?
ni
Ah,
rahisi, ati
simple.
candlesticks. Ai.
facing your own
Demons.
Yeah.
Depression.
ndani psychiatrist walitengenezwa kwa nini? Hiyo kitu si rahisi.
Hedge funds pay psychologists millions of dollars bana kusaidia traders bro to make sound decisions. Hii kitu ni
Like Wendy Rhodes.
yeah, like Wendy,
Yep.
yeah.
So
Billions.
the second part, like I said, is now what we're going to focus in today. Like how do you, what's the roadmap for understanding yourself, at least from a trading perspective? Because Buffett alisema, if you don't know who you are, the stock market is an expensive place to find out.
Yes,
True.
Because you
Very
lose
expensive.
a lot of money trying to find out who you really are. You lose a lot. Ukibehave too in queer ways, beliefs zenye uko nazo, like it will really hurt you, right? So how do you now like understand yourself?
And this is the benefit of trading. Like it helps you understand yourself, which you bring it out in different aspects in life.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I understand myself, I also feel like I can understand people.
So that means you'll get along well with people.
Exactly.
Your social life will improve.
Will improve. Yeah. You'll get wasoko emotional. It's not about you. Like you find someone, for example, like someone like in the office, maybe you're in the office.
Yeah.
And then I've just come in the office and I'm in a bad mood. Then you talk to me and then I talk to you badly. If you're smart enough, you'll tell, umse akona issues too.
So I shouldn't take it personally.
Exactly. See personal.
Today's Ken
Ken
is...
leo akona issues zake.
Yeah.
So like you go home and then you find maybe your folks have the same things. They throw them at you. You're the target. You just accept. I say wakona issues zao and you just move on. You get. But for you to get there, you must also be aware when you have your issues.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness. That's the starting point. So for me, that's the thing I think trading has taught me. I'm not at the epitome of self-awareness,
Yeah.
but I think I've
It's a
moved.
journey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've moved way further
Than you were when you
than
started.
I was
Were
when
you
I
this
started.
aware of yourself when you started? What do you do to
No.
become aware of yourself?
There's a lot of introspection, a lot of journaling, a lot of observation, there's a lot.
Life lessons.
Life lessons, reflection.
Yeah.
It's a process. That's why also
But-
it takes time.
But psychology is fun.
It's fun.
Psychology
It's something.
is fun.
It's something that intrigues you to understand it at a deeper level.
At a deeper level.
How people think, how people react. Why do they react like this?
Exactly.
And why, personally yourself, why do you behave in a certain way?
Because I feel also if you
Because some
feel
things are just funny.
like
If you just think like, I don't have a live example. Because some things you'll just, okay, when you start becoming aware of yourself, like let's say for example, you normally become angry when someone is, let's say, late. Okay, so late for lunch, maybe you have a dinner date, and all of a sudden your reaction is always you're angry, you're impatient. So when you become aware of yourself, you're like, why am I
why am I
angry?
so impatient?
Why am I
Right?
like why? Because you're not putting into perspective. Maybe this guy, something has happened on the way. There's
Thank
something
you.
happening. So you're asking yourself, why am I reacting like this?
Yeah.
Because it won't make any difference. This guy will still show up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're angry, you're just going to spoil the whole mood
Yeah.
for the
Exactly.
night.
Yeah.
So when you look at yourself and like, oh, I'm angry, let me just be peaceful. Like, let me just enjoy the scenery. I have this time to myself. Like that, you get. I'll if other examples come up, I'll tell you guys.
But
But
that's
something,
a good one. That's a good
Yeah,
example.
Some
I
things
think
are
that's
just-
rationality.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like,
Because it doesn't make sense. Because some people will just say, I'm in my jam.
Now, no,
Then
Joe,
you're
most of the
asking,
time
why are you angry?
it's your anxiety.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
In what
you're,
way?
You're generally anxious, then you project that anxiety into people. So for
Okay.
example, you may
Yeah.
find that you're generally impatient. You're
Okay.
impatient with yourself, you're impatient
Yeah, yeah.
with very many things.
Okay. Okay.
And now you project it
Yeah.
to other people.
Uh-huh.
So it comes out the way you're saying now.
Mhm.
You find yourself in situations whereby unafaa kuwa patient, ungoje tu. Mtu amechelewa dakika 10 umpigia mara 3.
See it alone. Yeah, that's no exactly.
Like
Now, if you
umempigia
just look at yourself and reflect,
unasema mi ndo
calling.
niko na shida si umse unaget like it's not the other person who has a problem.
yeah.
But now most people don't think about it that way because they're not self-aware. Like they've not done that. They've not gone through that
Retrospection.
journey of.
and I think life is just a journey of trying to figure yourself out.
Yeah,
That's
the end of the day.
Yeah, and
exactly.
most people don't do that. Yeah, most people don't take time to reflect on themselves, like to like find like who they really are. Like my like strengths, weaknesses, hivyo kusema like you know, for you to you need to know you're impatient for you to
Work on it.
Yeah, for you to work on it. You need to know you're irrational for you to work on it. So most people don't do that homework.
Yeah.
Say tu anaishi life. And
But most life situations don't put you in a scenario where you're forced to do that.
yeah.
So you're
So
supposed to do what? To learn.
To learn about yourself. Because
exactly.
what's the normal trajectory of life? Like you go to school, you clear school, you go to campus, you clear campus, you go to job. Right?
Yeah.
At which point there did you learn about yourself?
Nowhere.
Yeah. So like unless
That's a personal assignment.
like people who get into certain fixed situations,
Exactly, where you're
like
forced.
yeah, you're forced to work on yourself. You see?
Like us, like
yeah,
trading.
like, yeah, exactly.
forces
Like
you
trading, someone who is in like let's say
Athletics.
athletics. You see,
Okay,
you
yeah.
have to show up every day, be disciplined, like
Performance
yeah,
first.
like work with people, like exactly. Like but other jobs, yeah, very normal, like a teacher.
Routine job.
Yeah, like
teachers kwanza, those guys decide me.
they should be the people learning how these students should
And
be.
teaching them.
Yeah, but now they are even more irrational than the students. Like a teacher can't understand like this student is almost 30 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Teachers.
Yeah, so
You
like
can know
life,
teachers.
like,
Me, I remember when I was in primary schools. You know me and Kiswahili, eh? Tricky. So this teacher comes to work to school. Me, I failed Kiswahili badly. The guy just comes, starts beating people in the morning. How do you even start your day beating people? As in, this guy's beating people.
Issues.
So he's telling me, now me I failed really serious. Caleb, kakandos. You, I'll deal with you. I'm wondering, now what's wrong with this guy? Anyway, when my time came, bro, Pigo, you just know this guy's removing stress from home. Like
Yeah.
literally
and
stress from home.
what does Redalia say about failing? Failing is the best way to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so like teachers who's like the person who's supposed to make you learn, he's punishing you for making a small mistake, like coming to school
And
late.
that's how we start. Like,
Like exactly,
you're
like
programming.
So that's
programming,
where the programming starts.
exactly.
Umesha programiwa that
From-
failure is bad.
Failure is bad.
Okay.
Not knowing
Yeah.
is bad.
Not knowing is bad.
Yaani unajua nikikama hapa niwaambia ati sijui mtanicheka.
Nikikuja hapa
Yaani,
niwaambie
hiyo ndio
manze
instinct
this-
yenyu ya
how
kwanza.
don't you
for the
know?
whole week I've just had like red days in markets.
Ati, haujui aje
I
hizi.
can't even express it, you see.
Exactly.
Like I don't even have the confidence to say I've had like a bad week, you see, because I don't want people to know I've failed in that week. And it's
Like
so
failure is a bad thing.
yeah, it's a very, very
Conventionally.
bad thing. But as a trader, you should be able to open up. You say, hey, this week has been mad. Gold
Hectic.
imenichapa. Dau huko. You see, like you open up about
Talk
your
about
failures. Yeah.
And that's why
That's how
trading
you
is a
progress in
solitude
trading.
journey.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very, very it's a personal journey. It's
And
not
this is the part that people don't understand out. Like umepitia vitu mob trading huku, you're going home, you're telling like these people don't even understand what I'm saying. It's the psychological part.
exactly like Francis. We were talking with Francis. So Francis was telling me how when he normally goes at home and they ask him, okay, how was trading now?
The family.
Yeah. Sometimes he looks up, he's wondering, now what should I tell these people? Should I tell them it's easy? I don't even know what to say. You get why? Why will they say that? And the main reason is he feels like most people don't get it.
Yeah, even
Only
if you tell
a
them.
trader can get a trader.
True.
You get
Yeah,
true.
hata
exactly.
investor hawezi kuelewa.
It's the same thing you're telling Brian. about the
Bas,
books.
exactly. Even if
Like-
you read a trading book and you don't trade,
You-
you won't get it. It's like reading trading in the zone.
Yeah.
Utaisoma expectations. Ingia kwa market, wekelea hapo uone kitani.
With
Na
your
ulikuwa
money.
expect ikienda juu.
Yeah.
That's when you know, mbe stuff si rahisi vile nilifikiria.
Yeah.
It's more difficult than I initially thought. So those are the main points, I think. So understanding yourself, one of the things that I've learned is you must cultivate self-awareness. That's one of the things, because a big part of understanding yourself is knowing who you are
At a deep level.
at a deep level. And
Yeah.
knowing who you are, I come na lazima ufanye serious introspection, because
Serious.
there are bad things about yourself na unajua subconsciously unajua
Yeah.
niko na hizi vitu I don't even like them about myself.
Mhm.
If you try to visit those areas, you come back very fast. Unahepa hizo vitu. You don't want to face them.
Okay.
You run away from them very, very fast.
Mhm.
So there are those things, first of all, that you need to separate. Okay, this is what I like about myself. This is what I don't like.
Mhm.
This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm not good at. You get?
Mhm.
These are the things I've hidden about myself.
Mhm.
These are you need to look at yourself yani deeply.
Mhm.
Because if you, for example, like I've observed myself, if I wake up, okay, so I don't know why I'm using myself, but let me just say it.
It's because you've observed yourself.
Exactly.
You wake up.
If I wake up at certain times, there's a certain mood that I have for the whole day.
Mhm.
You get? And if I wake up at certain times, there's a certain mood. And if you observe yourself also, there's a high chance if you wake up, you have a certain thought pattern that normally pops up. Some people, when they wake up, the first thing they do is pick their phone.
Most people.
Most people. Other people, when they wake up, they have other things. Like, there's a pattern. That's the first thing you should know. There's a pattern to who you are or what you do.
Mhm.
If you can recognize that pattern, it can be easy to interrupt it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the first one. The second one, I think that I'll say, is understand the story in your mind. It's a story.
What story?
The story you tell yourself
Every day.
every day. You have a story.
About what? About yourself?
About yourself, about who
Other
you are,
people,
fantasies
how the world
zako,
should be.
how the world should be. View yako ya reality kwanza, it's hakuna view, like reality does not exist to some point. It's so subjective.
Yeah. Perspective.
Yeah, it's all about perspective,
Mhm.
because we see different things.
And we react to them differently.
Exactly. Because one thing I've even learned is by giving people books.
Mm.
Like you're reading principles now.
Mhm.
The things you're paying attention to are not the things I paid attention to.
True. I can tell by the things I'm underlining and the things you underlined.
Exactly. You get?
Mhm.
So that comes from perception.
Okay.
My perception is wired to pay attention to some things. Yours
Yeah.
is wired to pay attention to some things.
Because to harm everything looks like a nail.
Exactly.
So you look for the things you're aware of.
Exactly. And that's why it's also risky to look at things from one discipline. Like let's say if you're an economist, everything you'll think about will come from an economics viewpoint. If you're a trader, you'll always be thinking about risk reward. Normally, I pay, you're thinking about it.
And I think
in that way.
that's now where we come to the benefit of working as a team.
Working as a team, and second, knowing that it's a story. So knowing that it's a story.
Continue
it's
this
easy.
story stuff.
The story stuff means like you have self-talk. So you have self-talk in your mind.
Okay.
Like you have you view Ken in a certain way,
Yeah.
Davi in a certain way, Caleb in a certain
Glass.
way, Douglas, the family, financial lab. Like you have stories,
Mhm.
Jambia.
Mm.
Some of them are true,
Mhm.
some of them are not true,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Some of them are fantasies, some of them like
And what does Ray Dalio say about the worst thing in life?
the worst thing is that story to be false.
Exactly.
Or for that
So
story
you believe
to
something, you're telling yourself, and that thing is a lie.
exactly. And that's why you also come back to like if you look at the works of Jordan Peterson and I try Kwambia, the world is a stage. It's giving you feedback to the story you have. Right? If your perception is wired in the right way, you're succeeding, like you're growing, you're moving in the right path. Sawa. But feedback ya world ikianza kuinterfere na perception yako, si world ita change. Ni wewe uchange your story yako.
In your mind.
In your mind. You get? Let's say you're trading. You thought about trading in a certain way. It should work like this, and you're just executing. But the feedback you're getting from the market is loss. Should you change the market or should you change your style of trading?
Your
Style, of course.
So does this mean the story I have in my head about myself, I can change the story?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
have control.
biggest power
So
you
I
have
can
now.
I can restart this book.
Yeah, you can rewrite it, you can change it, you can change the scripts you don't want. But now most people don't know they have that power. Yeah, that's a bad thing. And it's also not easy again to change your story because you can have for a very long. Your story they formed you.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have hizo goals in life, visions. Now imagine all the goals, beliefs, all the goals you have about like what trading will give you 30, 40 years from now. Then someone tells you, Caleb, you should come and lead a church.
So like, what are you guys
trying to say?
Change your story seriously.
For long.
Yes, you get the point. Change your story seriously.
Yeah, true.
It's not easy. So that's another thing that. But realizing first of all is a story because most people don't think of it as a story.
But if you think of it that way, like you're saying, it's a story in my head and I can change the story.
It's easier.
Thinking of it in that perspective makes it easier. I can change this. I'm writing my own story of life.
Yeah,
exactly.
but basically that's how life moves. Everyone makes decisions in life. Like that's why some people are miserable, some people are happy, some people are depressed, some people are fatigued. Like everyone has their own situation in life. Like it's about how you approach life yourself.
Yep.
Like how you set your goals, work towards them. If you don't have goals, if you don't have a job, if you don't work on anything, of course your life will be miserable.
Yeah.
I think that story now reflects into your reality of how your life
very good.
Okay.
That's
rolls
a
out.
very
like
good
how your
point.
life rolls out now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because unajua pia story yako,
Uh-huh.
if I have a story in my head, let's say I have a fantasy.
Yeah.
Nikiinteract na nyinyi
It will play
mnanirudisha
out.
back to
Yeah.
hata si hivyo mtanirudisha back to reality.
True.
Ken ulikuwa unafikiria ni like you're not that person. You're this other person.
Yeah.
So from time to time my subconscious will get those jabs like, okay, you're not that person you think you are.
Yeah.
This is who you truly are.
Yeah.
So if that story woven anasema like reality yako na story haziingiani vizuri, that's why you get depression, unapata vitu kaa hizo.
So your internal expectation of how the external world should be, if it's not, if you're not getting it in return,
Bas.
If they're not in sync,
they're
unapata.
not in
that's what
sync.
Mark Douglas talks about.
Unaanza kwenda left huko,
Imbalance,
like
I think
things
that's
are
also
not
in
moving
markets.
to your-
Like
to your
you,
way.
like you project losses as personal issues.
bas.
Yeah. You project winners as being the king in markets. You see,
Yeah.
hizo tu ni what you think in your mind. Like a loss is just a loss. It's
Okay.
in 100
That's
trades you won't
perception.
remember it.
So perception.
Yeah, in 100
Exactly.
trades you won't most probably
Sasa unaona
remember
yeye
it.
amechange perception yake. Initially alivyo lost ka
Something
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're
yeah.
thinking of it.
Now
I
that's-
can learn from
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a good
You can't
experience.
trade for 10 years without learning to take losses.
Exactly.
You can't.
And it's
And
one of the greatest lessons you need to learn as a trader. And like that's where now you start controlling your emotions, because also controlling emotions is hard. Like
It's hard.
Yeah,
You're also
there's no
finding
day.
it hard.
There's no day you'll say I'm not fearful.
Eh,
So
Exactly.
yeah, like walk in Grogon at 12. Yeah, so like these aspects of life, you can't control them to like.
You can't eliminate.
Yeah, you
them.
can't eliminate them.
the goal is to manage.
The goal is to manage them, exactly. Like know where to
'Cause
cut it.
What's his name? There's a quote that says, "The essence of courage is not that you're not afraid, but that no one should know you are." the essence
Exactly.
Exactly.
is
That's
not that you're not
what you're
afraid,
projecting is
but
not
no one
fear.
should know you are. So you're
Exactly.
fearful.
But no
But
one
what you're
Yeah.
portraying, no one should.
Is
It's the
something
same thing.
different, yeah.
Ukitembea grogo, unahofia but simama wima.
But if you show it now, most likely you'll get mugged. And that's when you get a loss in trading. When you think like
So
you don't
confidence is
yeah, too much confidence. And I think all this is ingrained, as I've said, in human nature. And I think that book by Robert Greene highlights
Which one?
Everything.
The
laws of human
nature. It
Everything.
highlights.
If you have come with it today,
Yeah,
it would have been the best book to show here. Anyway,
It highlights all
everything,
the,
all factors of
irresponsibility,
human
short-sightedness,
irrationality. Exactly.
grandiosity,
All of them.
a lot, gender rigidity.
what's that?
Gender rigidity is basically, as a man,
Yeah.
I want to be too masculine that I'm born by a mother, a feminine person.
Okay.
So I have some characters from her.
Okay.
But as a man, I don't want to show it.
Okay.
I don't want to show that sometimes I can
I'm
be
emotional.
Yeah, I can
I'm
be very emotional. Yeah, I can
vulnerable.
cry. You see?
Unaambiwa ati Uswahili.
Kaa kimwanaume.
Mimi nikilia mbele yenu mtaniingilia.
Stop being a bitch.
Gender rigidity.
Gender rigidity.
I get, I get.
You want to be so so manly, you see. Yeah,
And
at
girls
times, yeah.
fearing being aggressive. Like mdemu umefundishwa
Yeah, girls should be soft.
Submissive.
Sasa unapata demu hawezi kuwa aggressive.
Yeah.
But bado ako na aggressive tendencies. Aliona buda yake mahali akiwa aggressive.
Yeah,
She
true,
grew
true.
up. So amehide hizo vitu in some ways.
Mhm.
But now for you to be a proper human, you need to integrate
You
all
have to
these
show them.
aspects of
Yeah.
your personality.
A proper human.
Yeah.
A proper human. Like you need to integrate all those aspects of your personality.
Someone should cry.
To some point, not really cry, but you should be in touch with your emotions.
Yeah, be
I get
touched
you.
with the emotion.
So don't like hide
Put your
them. Because I was
emotions.
seeing someone
away.
posted, was it someone like men 75% is men suicides
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
come from men because they
Exactly.
hide all those.
all those things. And then, when you're hiding them, they just keep bottling up. After points, acha tu commit suicide. Acha tu commit suicide.
That's the best way to do away with them.
Yep,
Kill yourself.
kill yourself.
I get you, Ras. So gender
Yeah,
rigidity.
gender rigidity. So most traders, I think I'd advise most traders to read that book. And from
Or anyone, even not just.
anyone to read that book. It will help you understand a lot of your weaknesses, also your strengths, and how you can leverage on your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. You see, just have a balanced life. Like a lot of things like mental issues, they are self-proclaimed. Like ukiangalia
Ni stories
yeah,
too.
It's all
It all
about
comes
yourself.
down to these stories.
Yeah.
Ni tu story umejishow.
You crafted everything in your mind.
In your
so
mind.
like
Umejicraftia tu.
I can't handle this.
utapata tu
I'm
maybe
weak.
too, it's like law of short-sightedness. You think about life for the next 1 month. Let's say you're
Ujafikiria
just
life
broke.
yako 10 years.
Let's say you lose a job today. You become depressed. You don't know. Maybe in the next 2 months, another job will appear. You see,
A better one.
yeah, a better one maybe even. So become depressed. You other people kill themselves for losing jobs, losing a partner. How the hell do you kill yourself for losing a partner? Anyway, people have reasons, but it all comes down to the stories Ken is saying. Like our brain is our biggest weakness. Yeah. So if you can't control your brain to some point, itakuchenga.
The control.
Itakucontrol.
And most of us don't
Yeah.
control our brains.
Yeah,
Our brains
exactly.
control us.
Controls us. Like you
So
need
the
to
brain
know.
controls
Yeah.
us.
Like you need to know I'm irrational. Let me take a step back.
Yep. I'm
Maybe-
grandiose.
Yeah.
Let me. This is not the right time for me to make this decision.
Yeah. Exactly.
So let me stay away from it.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Think about it
Think
rationally.
about it
Rationally,
rationally.
yeah. So
And then
Yeah.
also one thing I've learned is time is like a god. I feel like time
Yeah,
is
that's
everything.
That's what when Ras was saying that I was going to say thing. Time.
Time is you can't even hide from yourself for so long.
true. To come out.
It will come out. Like time is everything. With time, everything falls into place. Once you understand that, you have some power in you. Because you even know, like if you're making a decision, if you're working towards something. Unajua most people hiyo ndo shida yao. Unapata kama uko trading, that's one thing I've observed. Mtu amekuja huko clan kwetu kutrade. Anataka in the next 6 months akwe sijui wapi. Sasa chief, ini life skill.
Life skill.
In life skill.
You see gambling.
Si gambling.
Lottery.
Unaenda kuitumia for years. Why do you want to learn it in 6 months? ungekuwa na
even learn
5-year plan uko na a better decision making framework,
Yeah.
uko na better actions,
Yeah.
So you know what
ukiface
to take.
Mental
frustration,
state.
exactly, like
Because like the guys we normally have saying me have come, they've started 3 months from now, birthday yangu na come.
I want to go to
Hiyo
party
time,
with
nataka
pesa
kuwa
trading.
mzee kutrade, kali mnisaidie.
Fund me with that account.
So the decisions
My
they're
birthday
making
is coming.
is basically based on the short term things they're
Exactly.
thinking. If you think long term,
Excitedness.
you know,
Yeah.
hii bash yangu in the next 3 years,
Naweza ipata
Yeah.
kwanza sita
Yeah.
celebrate
Bas.
sana.
Unaget?
But 5 years from now,
It'll be a big thing.
the
learning
buy.
a skill, unajua
I get you.
if I really want to become good in a skill, probably it's going to take me 5 or 6 years. So first of all, hata nisi rely on this skill. So the first thing is to figure out for the next 5 or 6 years, how will I make an income
As I
I'm
learn
learning
this skill.
So now I've learned that, okay, what's the first step that I'm going to take? I'm going to take this and this move. Okay, when I face a challenge, how am I going to tackle it? You get? This is a person making decisions on a 5-year,
6-year plan.
10-year plan. So you can't succeed making decisions week to week.
So that's what this guy talked about, love short-sightedness.
Yeah,
love
it's all about,
short-sightedness.
and you
About
can
green.
see it like you make decisions and then you, hey, na hizi ma outcome napata hata sizilenli plan outcomes zako azimatch kenye ulikuwa na
In your
kwa
head.
akili yako wewe na kushow tu, yani your way of thinking is flawed,
Okay.
it's not to the right
So
perspective.
you need to be aware of that and work on it.
Exactly, but I feel okay, there's one thing that as Lawi was talking, I just remembered, like
Yeah.
we should also remember that part of the stories we have come from our genetics besides programming.
But they tell me about the genetics. Is this the neuroplasticity stuff?
Exactly. So your personality is made up of about 50% programming and 50% genetics.
Genetics.
Yeah.
So I'm born that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Continue.
born that way, then you're programmed in a certain way.
Okay.
For example, and I think the best way to look at that is to go into like the works of psychologists who have looked at kids. Because kids
Children.
behave differently, yeah.
Okay.
There are certain kids who are just silent. Kuna wengine ni kierere. Kuna wengine yani watoto tu wamezaliwa.
Yeah. Wajafunzwa wako tu
Hawajafunzwa
hivyo.
kitu, ako
Okay.
hivyo tu.
Yeah.
You get? So that's genetics. But now as they grow, they also learn how to fit into society and all these other things. But anyway, so the different personality factors that pop in as you grow up. The best way to look at them is to go into psychometrics.
And that's the thing I was going to talk about, psychometrics.
Yeah. So psychometrics help you to understand, like, okay,
So what are psychometrics? For the guys who don't know.
psychometrics are tests which are designed to kind of help you know who you really are or how your brain is wired. Because there are certain ways if your brains are wired, your behavior is affected by how your brain is wired, but your behavior also affects your brain wiring.
So it's a...
It's a reflexive relationship.
Okay.
It's like your thoughts affect your feelings, but your feelings affect your thoughts.
Okay.
If you're depressed, inakufanyanga uko in a spiral of negative thoughts.
Okay.
But how
And
does it
behaves-
start? Exactly. It starts with negative thoughts, lead you to depression, then depression spirals back to negative thoughts. You get?
Yeah.
So it's a reflexive relationship that keeps on just
Going on and going on. Okay.
Yeah. So psychometrics, there are different psychometrics, like there's 16 personality test, there's Big 5 ocean test, kuna hizi ma
Principle
star
U.
signs, Jews of star
Principles.
signs,
Principle U.
principles U. But the most accurate is the Big 5. That's
Ocean
the most
test.
accurate, yeah. It's the one which psychologists, psychotherapists,
And they're free, so guys can do them for free, huh?
yeah, they're free.
Go online.
Just go
The
online.
Big 5
Big
ocean
5,
test.
yeah, you'll find them. So when you do them, they measure you out of 5 things. So they measure you your openness,
Okay.
which is divided into 2 again, intellect and openness, experience. Then there is neuroticism, withdrawal and volatility. There is
Withdrawal and okay.
there's extroversion, which measures enthusiasm and assertiveness.
Okay.
Then there is
Agreeableness.
agreeableness,
Yeah.
which measures politeness and compassion.
Yeah.
And then there is
that one. Say-
Conscientiousness.
Exactly,
That one.
conscientiousness,
Yeah.
which measures orderliness and industriousness.
Mm-hmm.
You get?
Mm-hmm.
Now, depending on your scores on all these tests,
Mm-hmm.
we can even tell you some of the things that you can be good at, some of the things that you can't be very good at.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the behaviors that I've listed, about 2 come out of your behavior. So, like conscientiousness is all about behavior.
What's that?
It means like if you're industrious, wase industrious wako watu wanapenda kufanya kazi, they just like
Active.
working, they're active.
Mm-hmm.
Seems lazy, haezi kaa tu.
Okay.
Unasikianga busybody. haizi kaa tu mahali, lazima ende mahali afanye kazi.
Busybody.
Eh.
I've never heard of it. Okay.
Itangwa hivyo, like so those are conscientious people,
Okay.
but it comes from their behavior. They've wired themselves to behave like that most of the time.
Okay.
You get?
Yeah.
But now if you come to things like openness, it's very hard to tinker with your openness.
Okay.
So because that's basically genetics. It's your intellect and your openness to experience. Yes, you can tinker with it. I'm not saying you can't move it, but it's more difficult than conscientiousness.
Yeah, I get you.
You get?
Yeah.
It's more difficult to mse yako anashika kitu seme class. Ni ngumu sana umwambie cheki work hard hadi uwe number 1. Okay, anaweza work hard hadi uwe number 1. But that's a more difficult process than mse ako anafanyanga kitu mwambie start working and start adopting some behaviors. It's easier for him to learn some things. You get? So like neuroticism again, which is it's basically a tendency for you to experience with negative emotions, so sadness, and some of these things also apply to genetics.
To be negative emotion.
Yeah, negative emotions,
the experiences with them.
Yeah. Like females are more neurotic than men.
What does that mean? With what you've said,
females relative to males, on average, females will score higher on neuroticism than men. So women are more prone to negative emotions than men.
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like now what I've learned is when I'm dealing with girls, I tend to like calm down rather than expecting them to calm down.
Okay.
You get?
Because you understand that.
Because I understand that fact. I know you're more prone to be sad and those things, and like for boys.
Okay.
You get?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on average, I think for females is 54.5, the average female, I think, or 51.5, and for males is 49.5.
So if I do that test, then it's not a big.
It's not a big difference. It's not like 30-20, no.
Okay.
But on average, females are higher on neuroticism than men.
Okay.
You get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can still find some men who score high.
Yeah. There are some men who score very, very high on neuroticism. That's normal. You get? So now if you're let's say highly neurotic, I feel like trading is not very good for you.
Okay.
You get?
Like you'll be able to deal with this shit.
Like, okay, you can learn to deal with it, but you're giving yourself exactly a lot of work to do.
As compared to someone who has low. Exactly. Is that why this industry is male dominated? One of the reasons?
Partly. It could be.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm not sure, but it could be. Yeah.
Just from experience, the females we've had come into trade,
there are very few.
Most of them leave actually.
Yeah. And girls tell you, hey, me no go pa.
Exactly.
I'll go pa to take risks. You get? Because if you think about trading, by the way, from a trading perspective, girls also have some strengths that men don't have.
Exactly.
Yeah. So one of them is girls are more agreeable than men, right? So it's easier for a girl to change her mind once the markets are not working than for a boy.
It's easy to go strong.
Exactly. Kiburi nayo, unashikilia, fight in a market. But for a girl, it's easier for her to
cut loss.
Exactly. Cut loss. Hey, work. Atoke. So that can work for them. But now the problem comes with neuroticism. So she's more prone to be sad and all those things. You get? Also, I'm not sure, but I also feel like risk-taking. If you look at risk-taking, boys are higher generally than females. So females look for security. And that's the thing. If you're highly neurotic, your main motivation is security.
Okay.
You get? If you're high on openness, your main motivation is adrenaline, having open experiences, exactly. Like explore.
It's openness.
If you're highly conscientious, your main motivation, I'm not very sure of them, but you can look at them. So that tells you, like, if you're high on neuroticism, maybe your life, you should really try to program it or plan it in a way that you'll be secure most of the time.
What does that help?
See, it helps you reduce the neuroticism.
Okay.
You get? Because what happens for you to be neurotic is you have situations which you can't control or something. Like if you're taking risks, you know that it's uncertain. So if you're high on neuroticism, what happens? You become more neurotic, right? Because you're now in an uncertain environment and you're highly neurotic already. So it takes it higher.
Okay.
But now if you're in a secure environment and you're neurotic, it helps you bring it lower.
Because you're safe.
Because you're safe. Exactly. So you can go into psychometrics, look at them. They can help you a lot. And then there are certain combinations. Like you find people who are very high on openness most of the time are not very high on conscientiousness. Because openness is all about creativity and all that. If you're very creative, there's a high chance you don't like following rules, you don't like being instructed, you don't like being told what to do. People who are high on conscientiousness, on the flip side, the people who like being told what to do, following rules, exactly. They'll do it. Watafuata rules, obligations, nini.
And do it well.
Exactly. So kujua hizo vitu, ujijue tu from that perspective now. Then now you can bring in the stories you tell yourself and all this. Becomes easier for you to navigate. Because again, the stories you tell yourself come from your genetics. Some point, besides your programming and everything.
For example?
For example, someone who's maybe highly neurotic. Let's use someone who's okay. Let me use someone. Let me think. Let me use someone. Let's say someone who's extroverted, high on extroversion.
Okay.
So this is someone who's learned to talk a lot. Nimse huongea tu generally. Nimse social. Sindo? But some point unaweza enda as you grow up unaambianga na wase learn kunyamaza. So this person may learn that talking is bad. Right? Kuongea sana. There's that risk that unaweza anza kubelieve kumbe kuongea sana pia si fiti sana. Singine pia you need to learn to listen, unyamaze na vitu kama hizo, sindo? So from your
So is this extroversion part genetic?
Yeah. That's
I think
genetic.
it really shows out in politics.
That's genetic.
Like look at like a vocal person. You'll find the dad like was a prominent politician. Look at like Raila Odinga. The dad was a politician. He used to he was open. You see, look at like it really shows down to like even people like what's the name?
Who? In Kenya?
In states.
Trump.
No.
Barack.
Obama. Kennedy's.
Mm-hmm.
You see, like for a family to all of them be presidents, like let's say father,
JFK, yeah, exactly.
father, son. You see, it shows that there's something in that family that socially maybe it
helps them.
Yeah, it helps them get that love from the public.
Exactly.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So besides I know what you'll say is okay, walizaliwa pia kwa your family, but there's the genetics also ya kuzaliwa kwa your family besides the programming. You get?
I get you.
A better example would be even to compare leadership styles. Kuna wase who lead by being quiet and then people talk to them. Kuna wase who lead by being aundo wanasema and then you follow. Kuna wase like you see the difference in leadership styles. There's some leaders who are introverted, some are extroverted. There's some leaders who are charismatic, some are not charismatic.
But they're all leaders.
Exactly. Comes back down to genetics and knowing yourself now. Napata there are some people who are introverted, some people are loud. So unajua some of your friends who are loud, some of them are nakwaga tu quiet, ananga story mob. Betulia. So hiyo ni genetics. Jamaa akwambianga ati nyamazanga hadi akalanga nyamaza. Alikuwa tu hivyo generally. You get?
So along the way can the genes, genetics, what? I'm learning from you guys.
Can you
alter, change?
Experiences, I think experiences can change you. Like as Ken was saying, someone can.
And will that reflect down your lineage? If you
alter? Yeah, those are deep things now.
Yeah, like maybe like over time, maybe over time.
Just see psychologists here.
Biologists.
But
we're interested to know.
But I feel okay if you look
psychology part 2, we can get a psychologist with us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We can bring a psychologist. If you can alter the gene, is that the question you're asking?
Yeah, if you can alter your gene.
Along the way. So you said like you have a certain way of...
I don't feel like you can alter your gene, but you can alter how that gene is expressed.
That's a deep stuff. I have no comment. I didn't do that. Okay.
It's like your personality. You can't change your personality, but you can change how you express your personality.
That one makes sense. The gene part... Okay. What's a gene? It's what makes me up. I didn't do biology. I'm learning.
I don't know biology.
There are cells and everything, but okay. All
okay,
of us,
but I get you guys.
We never.
We'll get a psychologist. Those are good questions to have.
I was looking at like the neuroscience book that I had.
Which one?
There's a big textbook I have about 1,000 pages for neuroscience.
The one we got the other day.
So just skimming it. I've not read it deeply, but I was skimming it, and what you're asking is also quite hard because basically your brain has hormones na vitu venye zina react. Let's say if you like smoke up,
How these
there are
things
certain
confuse me.
hormones
So
which
there's
are-
genes, then there's hormones.
yeah,
Okay, I know there this different
hormones are
work.
similar.
What do you mean similar?
Wewe unakwanga na amygdala hijackings, ule ako nayo, mimi niko nayo. Hiyo ni human nature. Hiyo sasa ni brain yako. Sawa. Kwanza kama yako release dopamine, now you have issues.
Now these are hormones.
Yeah, hizi ni hormones.
Okay.
Dopamine, oxytocin, the one responsible for love. Testosterone, hizo zote. Ndio.
Okay.
Estrogen, hizo zinafanya unone.
Estrogen.
Exactly. So it's such things.
Okay.
Hizo sasa zina come from neuroscience.
Okay.
Sawa.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that also picked up from that book already.
Yeah, sorry.
The fact that as much as hormones control you, you have a choice. Like what tells you you're hungry?
You just feel it.
Yeah. How do you feel it?
I'm hungry.
There are certain hormones which are released once your hunger is not. And your motivation when you're hungry is natafuta food.
Okay.
Ngumu hata ufikirie vitu zingine. Nataka kwanza food.
And once you satisfy it.
Sasa brain yako inaweza open up to other things. Sindo?
Okay, yeah.
But at some point you can also say, acha nsikule. Acha niendelee tu. So hormone ilikutumia signal, you're hungry. Lakini you decide nsikule.
Okay, so you're saying you can it's a choice now.
It's a choice.
How you react to it.
Exactly. So the same comes now to very many behaviors.
Does that reflect in a way like in trading?
Exactly. In trading hakuna siku itaifika uache kuona opportunities, but for you to be disciplined to trade in a systematic way ni kujitrain. Umejitrain hata nikiona signal wapi sichukuangi hiyo. Hiyo si part of my mental or part of my trading plan. So uko disciplined to trade in a certain way. Right? So that also that was actually my take home from that scheming. I have a choice. Like that, because most people don't know they have a choice. Skanga most people will come back, that's where the way I am.
And that's the way I am.
Mimi nakuanga hivyo. I'll show. In story umejiambia unakuaga hivyo. Na umebelieve, sawa. Because if you believe in that story, now it becomes part of you.
It becomes reality,
It becomes reality. So you just now start like following it and everything. So you need to be very, very keen on such things. But now if you're not trading, if you're not stress testing your thinking, if you're not getting feedback, we're sorry. You live with your story the way it is.
Yeah. If you are not trading, will you be aware of this?
No.
Not
why?
Everything.
I don't think I would. A big interest of psychology has come from my interest in trying to understand myself in trading. And I don't think I don't know. I don't think.
Of course, 90% trading, but also I think as you mature as a person, your mentality changes. You become like some
life pia ukufunda.
Yeah, life just teaches you. Life experiences.
Some people are very aware of this stuff, but they're not trading.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are people who are good at self-awareness, like monks, philosophers. Those people are very good at it.
But so everyone different experiences.
But now your path has to dictate a lot, like how you are brought up, the people who are around you. Maybe if you picked up a book, if you dig deep, you'll get some of these people. They had some spark or some influence which changed their mind or altered their ways of thinking, and they went into very different directions.
To achieve the same goal. Yep. Self-awareness. Like I said, I think the journey of life is all about getting to know yourself and how you live with other people.
Navigating your experience as well.
At the end of the day, that's what we do.
That's the only goal you have.
Because you remember that time we talked about when I was telling you, I believe like if you become successful in any area, people define success differently. So depending on how you define your success, let's say monetary wise, or anyway, life sort of pays you to figure yourself out.
Meaning?
It's a reward. Like success is a reward.
Like you see the guys who are very successful, most of them are very self-aware.
Yeah.
And that's a self-awareness and even understanding other people. And now understanding other people, now that you sort of monetize it. For example, you remember this girl was telling us the other day how Facebook, was it Facebook or what works?
Yeah, how Facebook works.
Like their products and all
how their products
it's all psychological.
Yeah.
So this guy understood this how people think, this how people are naturally.
People are smart, bro. Successful people are smart people, most of them. Like
so these guys that's what I'm saying. Now these are successful people. They're very self-aware and very aware of how people think, and they try and monetize that. Sales is all about tapping emotions.
That's persuasion.
Exactly.
persuading people.
Persuading
Yeah, but it's
people.
about emotions. So
Yeah.
you're understanding how people think, how they react to whatever action happens.
That's the biggest skill you can learn. Like if you understand yourself and you understand people, you're gone, man. You're gone.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to catch up with you. It's hard because you can lead people, you can form teams, you can know someone who's destroying the
You can
team.
manipulate
You can
people.
manipulate people. Like you have a lot of power, man. And like other people. You can even tell Umse ana come from which angles.
Exactly.
Umse akona power.
Exactly.
Power bigi sana.
And
A lot of it.
That's what Robert Greene stresses about.
Yeah, because and again, if you don't know how to deal with people again,
Exactly.
now you're powerless.
Yeah.
You're back again now to zero. You don't know how to persuade anyone to be with you on a project. You can't organize a team. You can't coordinate people to do anything.
You don't know people's strengths,
You
weaknesses.
don't know weaknesses, exactly. You don't even yourself.
Yeah.
That's how move aje.
You're the one who punishes people when they fail.
Yeah.
How my teachers.
Yeah, so even it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult.
So I was looking at the 18 laws of human nature by Robert Greene, and
There were 18.
Rationality,
He talked about 18. Because I was
empathy,
also looking at them here.
narcissism.
Mostly emotional. So,
irrationality, narcissism, role playing,
yeah.
compulsive behavior,
Yeah.
Character.
covetousness, short-sightedness, defensiveness.
Defensiveness.
Yeah, self-sabotage.
Defensiveness is the one we were talking about,
Deny.
actually. Yeah, no. When given this is the best quote I've learned so
Yeah.
far. When given a chance between changing your mind and proving a point, almost everyone gets busy on proving the point. Everyone.
No,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
change
no,
their
no,
mind.
to change their
To change
mind.
their
Yeah,
mind.
people like proving a point, man.
So for you to
Even
change
if they're
people's
wrong.
mind, understand that first.
Yeah.
If what?
If you
Or
want
if
to
you-
change people's mind, understand that they don't want to change.
Okay. So that's where you start from. So you're
Exactly.
working backwards.
You work backwards.
Okay.
It makes it easier for you.
Okay. What do you think, Ras? Continue.
There's envy, grandiosity, gender rigidity, which we've talked about, aimlessness. These things portray well in trading. You're so aimless and you want to be successful.
No goal.
Fickleness,
There's no purpose.
aggression, general myopia.
Myopia is just-
Generational.
Or generational myopia.
What does that mean? Generational, like
Generational
myopia,
myopia.
short-sightedness.
No.
In what way?
Generational myopia is you've grown up as a millennial, right? You
Mhm.
believe millennials should act in a certain way,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
So
mhm.
umepick up hizo vitu.
Mhm.
Zingine ni upuzi tu.
Mhm.
Umefundishwa tu unapata mademu anasema oh nowadays girls don't do this. Hiyo ni generational things.
Mhm.
Hizo ni myopia. If you're really self-aware unafaa ukae chini. Ujiulize, can this work really?
Like
Okay.
Separate yourself
Caleb,
from
you're saying
those
that time,
things.
I think,
Yeah.
the wisdom of the past can be foolishness of the
In
future.
today's world.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's a guru.
Yeah. So
Guru.
even
Then
the
the final
wisdom of
one-
now can be foolishness.
Yeah.
Like what
In a
people
way.
think now is wise is kind of foolish.
Especially
Yeah.
conventional wisdom.
Like conventional wisdom, yeah.
Mhm.
Then there's death denial as the last one.
Meditate on your
What do we
death.
say
Yeah.
about denial?
It's the most predictable of human responses.
Denial.
Yeah.
See Mimi.
see me. I didn't do that.
See Mimi.
Yep.
Quickly.
Yeah.
So those are 18.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So a lot of this, a lot of these aspects are what as a trader you need to fight. You see,
Mhm.
you need to fight being so aimless. You need to like focus. If you
Have a goal.
have a goal and work towards it.
Discipline.
Yeah, such things like grandiosity. Trading, you need to respect the market, my friend. It has been here and it will be here after you. Most likely you'll die, your kids will find it here.
They'll die.
They'll die, they'll leave it here. So
Mhm.
respect the market. Like, don't feel like you know so much about markets.
Mhm.
You don't even have a team of a research team. So like
Mhm.
accept that you are just trading feedback from markets. You see.
True.
Yeah, don't trade your own thoughts, thinking, having like some people. Yeah, as I was saying, some people have high hit rates, so they think they can cheat on risk management.
Okay.
They still die in the market. So such things like envy, and that's comparison. Like I have to work on my trading personally.
Mhm.
If let's say I start getting envious of let's say a better trader than me, you see, already I'm not working on myself.
Mhm.
My main focus is on that other trader. You see,
Mhm.
like I'm not giving so much time to at my own trading that I want to, like, let's say I pick the investors.
And this is where I see social media comes in and destroys everyone's self journey.
Exactly.
Because social media is all about comparison.
Yeah, comparison.
Better clothes, better makeup, better house, better car, better Subaru car for Naivasha.
Once I was to talk about that story.
Which story?
If you want to see the fear of missing out in place, go to Naivasha. I said like 60% of the people who'll go never planned. Wamejoa hiyo form juicy. Venye naanza tu kutrend.
Vlemaka moto this week.
Hujaplan, hujafanya kitu yoyote hata lakini utaenda. Kwa nini? FOMO. Unadhani hii ni kihata. Yani unataka tu kwa part of the statistics.
Never be another one.
Exactly. So
short-sightedness.
You're not really short-sightedness, you're not self-aware. Like you're not ungekuwa self-aware ungerealize such things. Okay, if I'd not planned myself, I'm not saying you can't be spontaneous.
Yeah, I get your point.
But usiende na hata una rent na umeenda huko.
Now that's compulsive behavior.
Ukirudi sasa
rukia tu everything.
Vitu. Ukirudi sasa huko sijui haujielewi yani, you have not really sat down and there are very few people who really understand themselves.
Yeah, very few people.
There are very few.
Like life doesn't put people to a point that it squeezes you like you need to work on yourself. And I think that's trading for us. If trading was easier for us, we wouldn't have worked on ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If trading worked, like unaenda huko kudu.
Yego tu unaamka asubuhi unaekelea kama umerudi kudozi, you're so indisciplined. You don't have a routine. It force you have to wake up at this time.
Yourself.
Generally you're trading at this time, consistency. Yeah, exactly. And in trading, that's why I was telling Ken that thing. Inconsistency of process will always lead to inconsistency of outcomes.
True.
Yeah. If you're trading last week you did this, next week you're doing that, the other week you woke up what time?
Changing.
Yeah. Routine in trading is paramount. Like you need to have a structure on how you approach your trading. Like
and some
also like your psychological issues, your risk issues, you have to have a structure. You can't just do everything randomly.
Okay.
Your trading, your graph will never look consistent. Yeah. So
because somewhere learned strongly about discipline and consistency. Like in other fields, I'm still learning about it in trading and all. But somewhere I've seen those strong results is in working out. Working out forces you to be disciplined to go even when you're not ready.
Yeah.
Okay, even when you don't want. Consistently, because one, you have a goal, you want to lose weight, you want to add weight, you want to bulk up and all. So there's a certain consistent thing you have to follow, such that if you break it, you're going to break all this path you've started.
Everything won't work
everything. So discipline, that thing you have to it's hard, Ken. Working out,
discipline,
that thing is hard.
Ken says discipline of a soldier.
Like listen, that was the best analogy I could use, because for me, I think people in the army don't think. In that they follow rules
without thinking.
Ukianza kuwa independent minded wanakufukuza army.
You have to follow the commander.
Follow rules. Like it's
mkiambiwa mission ni 3 am ni 3 am.
You know my school, like my early days in shule ya jeshi. Wakionanga mkubwa hapa. Hakunanga ati leo sijui.
Ataka kuwa na food na
hapa. Sasa salute.
Don't think.
So in trading it's the same way. If you're going to succeed as a trader, you need that discipline of
a soldier.
Exactly. You need to be so strict on your sijui anaenda kuelezea aje.
Like form rules.
Iko kwa akili yangu tu, like I've really thought hard about it, and it's not only in trading, even in life. Most people, no matter most people, I feel like motivation is useless for me.
May I agree with you.
And I'm talking from personal experience, watching people.
But explain to the guys
myself.
what you mean motivation.
So people normally say, hey, I need motivation. I'm learning this new thing. Now I want motivation, right?
Even working out.
Hata working out, exactly.
Motivation.
Wameanza. So, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 inaanza kuwa ngumu. Sasa hapo ndo, discipline sasa hapo ndo inakusaidia.
Hata motivation isaidia.
Mwenye sasa ana discipline hapa, hata uende watch motivational speaker mgani I work kabisa. Discipline sasa ndo inakusaidia. Like in trading, you'll face very very many times where you'll be frustrated, you'll be angry at the market, you'll want to revenge trade. You'll want to do very many. You get? What keeps you going after all this is only discipline.
Yeah. that of a soldier.
You can't be
And discipline, as
motivated.
Jordan Peterson says it, discipline is self-imposed slavery.
Exactly. Like umeji.
You have to be a slave to your discipline. Like, just follow it.
Let me just ask you something. Even look at our journey. When we started trading, we were so motivated, right? Nilikuwa naambia sahi, the risk is if you're not so motivated, you won't get to the other end of the goal. When you started, your goal was to be a millionaire or a billionaire, right? You have not yet gotten there. You're still on the path towards getting there. Most people now don't get there because of what? Not because they can't start. It's because they can't master the discipline to move to the end, to keep pushing, to be resilient. If you can't do those things, success how? Yo weke tu kando na kabisa whatever field you're in. Hata kama ni creative. Kwanza hiyo sasa ndo nilikuwa I was listening to Eugene Bogwa. I was talking about how creatives normally like saying ati unajua leo sina creativity, sasa sitaingia studio.
Sitaingia leo.
That's bullshit. You should be going to the studio every day at 4. Ile creativity kupata studio. Sio unangoja creativity hadi itakupata Naivasha huko.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, true.
And I get. So as much as you're a creative, you need to structure your creativity.
And be disciplined
And
around
be
it.
disciplined around it. You get? Yeah. So as much as you want to have you need to structure your life is a balance between order and chaos. If you look at hizo sani works as a Peterson.
Jordan.
Order and chaos. So you need to structure yourself. You need to bring in some order within the chaos.
Okay.
You get?
And naturally, the chaos will be there.
Exactly.
So you have to bring the order.
You have to bring the order. Exactly. The chaos don't come from you willing. You have to will to bring the order. And it's not hakuna mtu anaambianga acha kuwa disciplined. Ati hakuwa indisciplined kidogo. Rarely will you be told that. You'll be told be disciplined. Structure yourself. Follow certain rules. Behave in certain ways. You get? Yo path ya kujistructure hivyo. Kwanza kwa trading huko, kama utafanya hiyo kitu, wenye tu lawe amesema like if your trading is not structured,
Ghost of a chance.
Ghost of a chance.
You find someone una trading ya ati ikiendanga juu unanunua, ikienda chini, yo hakuna structure.
Ati nangojanga doji.
Hakuna structure hapo. Like structure is I normally wait for A, B, C, D. Then I take action.
Everything needs to tick.
Bas.
So that's the discipline
Then I
part.
take action.
If A, B happens and C does not.
Hakuna kutake
No
action.
action.
You get? A, B, C, D, action.
Unaweza msengine, how do you trade? New York ndo kuna moves.
Like strategy gani?
Ati huko New York ndo upata moves.
Trading I
This person's problem is not even psychological.
strategy
Strategy and system.
But now also another thing most traders lose because they can't manage to make money in the markets is because they have not accepted losing.
Fear of loss.
Not even fear of
fear
loss,
of
hata
loss.
kuaccept too.
To lose. And also entrepreneurship.
It's the
Like,
fear
I
that
never
makes you
set
not
off.
accept, yeah.
Guys never come out to work for themselves because the fear.
Exactly.
they lose.
Uja accept unaweza fail.
Exactly.
So in trading kwanza ina manifest in very funny ways. And I'm telling you from personal experience, So you found a system, it's working, and now you're trading it. So you place your first trade winner, second trade winner, third trade loser, fourth trade loser, fifth trade loser. On the sixth trade, watch and change his strategy. Wacha sasa nianze sasa huyu aja accept that uta lose in your pursuit of winning. In your like for you to be a winning trader, you must learn to lose. Losing well. Hii inaweza kuwa loss, inaweza kuwa win. Na uchukue your trade, na ukikuwa loss, unaiweka kwa journal and you move on. But once uja accept ku lose, inaenda against you, unataka kutoka. Inaenda side yako, unataka kufanya sijui nini. Ikienda huku, you and cash two diverse ways.
A loss only becomes a loss when
never
you
get it.
don't learn from it.
Yeah.
That's a perception change.
Exactly. At the end of the day, a loss is just a reaction.
But also, that's also dangerous for me because you can't learn from every loss. Some losses are systematic.
Yeah. I was going to add on to that point. So I was adding a point.
Because if you try to learn from every loss,
because starting off you lose a lot. Because also when you're learning, from the losses, you're also learning that losses will be there.
Yeah,
So the system has certain losses.
exactly.
And you'll understand because this system is showing you that next time if a trade comes, I'll still take it.
Mhm.
Even if I lost that same pattern. And if I lose again, I'll take again.
Mhm.
Now that's, you've learned about your system. So the loss has helped you understand that.
Exactly.
But also the loss now helps you understand some losses you're losing. It's not systematic.
It's mistakes.
Some mistakes, you repeated some mistakes. You're fearful. You came out very early because it was going down. Market went to your side. It's
Mhm.
teaching you something. You get my point?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it comes down to that.
Yeah, if you learn how to lose,
Learning how to lose,
you have
learning from
succeeded
it.
already. And
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
another thing is you throw away your expectations. There's no expectation. Like expectations, predictions, this is what
The
they
expectation should be a loss.
Ati?
The expectation should be a loss.
Yeah, like expect the worst, prepare for the best.
Yeah, let's
hope for
expect
the
for the
best,
worst,
but
yeah.
expect the worst. Like
And
that's
prepare
a
for it.
trader's
Mm.
mindset.
Risk management.
Yeah,
Mm.
if you
Can
already
get-
have a loss and you know it's a 1% loss or 0.5% loss, even if you go to Naivasha and come back, it will be that 0.5% loss. Again, my friend, uko hapo na 3% loss, hata Naivasha utaenda, my friend.
Mm,
Utakuwa
10%.
uko huko unaangalia rally ukiangalia.
Okay,
trader.
right.
Psychology
And that's what
inakuchenga.
you were saying now. Risk management is intertwined with psychology.
Yeah, hizo vitu they have to work together. They have to work. Like you can't cheat them.
Because risking too big, your psychology is not.
Yeah,
fine.
you can't be fine. Yeah, and when you risk less, psychology is fine.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why you have to just find a balance between everything. And I think
Risk appetite.
yeah, as we wind up, I think we can now talk of strategies of how to manage these emotions, fear, grandiosity. Like from like, okay, how have you improved your trade? Like how have you improved your trading after knowing all these weaknesses about yourself and now working on them? Like what made you work on them? What tools did you use? And where are you at now psychologically?
Starting off, we teach this financial hub. If you come for our courses, we teach you deeply about psychology. But something I can say that you should work on, helped me a lot, journaling.
Journaling is one.
Journaling. So journaling, you're trying to write how your emotional process is before you take a trade, when you're in the trade, and how you come out. So you're basically just honestly writing about how your emotional reactions are and working on them on a daily basis. Because sometimes if you're honest with yourself, because that's another thing that now trading forces you. It forces you to be honest with yourself. If you lie, it's like gymming. I'll use gymming a lot. It's like gymming. You go to the gym, you do 5 press-ups and you say, I hope this will make me buff. My hands will come. Next time you go, you just chill around the gym. You're just chilling. You're not doing anything deliberate. Okay? But now if you work on your trading every day, you're working honestly.
Deliberate practice,
day to day. You're saying I've taken a loss because I was fearful of a loss. FOMO, like Ken was saying, was on Naivasha. Fear of missing out. Work on those. Understand that I'm fearful of missing out. I'm fearful of taking a loss. I'm fearful of accepting that I can lose on a trade. Now I write that. If you write it journaling, so it's even in life. So you're writing about this. You're just journaling your emotions. I think that's one of the best things that has helped me improve psychology in trading. I think that's my takeaway home. I'll just give that one for today.
Okay. For me, there are a couple. One of them is reflection, like you said. So in trading, you have to take like reflective episodes of like after a month, 2 or 3, you need to step aside and look at yourself from a top-down perspective. Look at how you're trading, how you're making decisions, what's working, what's not working. And then you can rewire yourself and do some other things. Like you can tell, okay, this and this is not working. Because the markets will give you feedback. For example, there was a time I was very, very prone to revenge trading. Like I'd take a trade, it doesn't work, I take another one, it doesn't work, I take another one. Then after a few weeks, I'd get a very good setup. Perfect one. Like a risk in a work. So I realized over time that, okay, if I lose, it doesn't mean I should try to make my money back immediately. There's always that trade that will come that will make back my money. So I learned to be like more patient. So if I lose nowadays, it's okay. I'll just wait for that trade. I know it will come.
Of course.
And that also comes from being systematic. So I don't just make decisions in the market. There's a certain criteria that I use.
And I think most people will understand it through experience.
Exactly.
Not starting off.
Yeah. Because the markets are random, but me, I don't have to be random.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me to be consistent, the markets are random, but I have to be consistent
With your approach.
Exactly. So I have to be consistent with my approach. That's one. The second one is self-awareness. And for this one now, I'll point out many things. There's what you've pointed out, journaling.
That's basically introspection and retrospection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All those things. There's another one called anchoring.
Okay.
So,
I love this one.
exactly.
Anchoring, yeah.
So this one is a bit deep. I won't go into the. You can look for it. You can do your research and get it. But basically, anchoring means most of the things that happen to you have happened before, right? Your life is a cycle, and that's why things keep on repeating, bubbles, burst, and all these things. But anyway, your life is a repeat of certain things, and your brain has learned to anchor some things to some certain experiences. Some certain experiences are anchored to some certain feelings. Some certain people are anchored to some certain experiences. So you have anchors in your brain, zenye unatumia.
Yeah.
For example, let's say if I tell you think of a wedding, you may find someone and a smile. The last wedding ilikuwa fiti or something. Think of maybe, I don't know, there are many things. Even someone yeah,
can anchor,
can
like,
tell you
this person you have.
Exactly. Kumbuka Caleb nilikuwa naye. Caleb ilikuwa naye nini.
Yeah.
I kumbuka yo staki maneno yake. Exactly.
So you've anchored this person to a certain emotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now in the market it applies in losses, wins, the experiences you have in the market. So you've anchored them to certain things. So you find yourself, maybe you're trading, you've anchored a win to certain feelings, you've anchored a loss to certain feelings. Now what you need to change is the anchor. An environment is also one. Ukipeleka mtu dunda ananga ile muda kona akiwa kwa nyumba. The minute ameingisha tu hiyo mguu hivi kwa klabu, sign imechange, like mood imechange, feeling imechange, everything imechange.
So that's part of anchoring.
Active, exactly. Because anajua akikuja hapa amekam kufanya nini. Okay, come say in a classroom, ako attentive. Exactly. You've anchored certain feelings too. So you can change your environment. That's one of the anchors. You can change the anchors you have. Like, so but
this the same thing that Dan Dispenza says. Our emotions.
Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza. What did I say?
Dan.
Yeah, Joe. Sorry. Our emotions are the end products of our experiences.
Exactly.
So we anchor emotions to
the
some
experiences you have. Yeah. So if you have repeated experiences over something, becomes. Kwanza he gives a very perfect analogy. He starts with a thought becomes a feeling becomes a thought becomes
I mastered that stuff.
You are the one who was actually telling me, but a thought becomes a feeling becomes a habit, a habit becomes your temperament, something of the sort. Like he gives it from the beginning to the end. Yeah. So you also need to work on that. Another one that I've recently learned is changing your posture. So your body, there's the mind-body connection.
Yeah.
If you're attentive, where's you attentive?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
So for you to be attentive, you need to be seated in a certain way, doing things in a certain way, right?
Okay.
If you're emotional and sad, you can't have the posture. Because you know what happens is, if you're emotional and sad, your brain releases serotonin more than other hormones. So that forces you into into certain postures, into certain ways of expressing. But now if you change your body, it can also change your mind. So understanding that relationship between the mind and the body is also helpful.
So they're intertwined.
Exactly, they're intertwined. Mind-body problem. Okay, you understand the relationship between the two. Can help you a lot in altering your states of mind. Then I think finally you need to do a lot of introspection into your programming and how you were brought up. Many of the things that you have in your mind are stories again.
So you should really question them.
Exactly. Interrupt that story. Try to think of this story. Is it true? And I think the most important thing is not if the story is true. Is this story useful? That's what I've learned. Is like beliefs. You can have beliefs which are useful and some of them are toxic.
So some beliefs can be true, but they're not useful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
So find useful beliefs. The ones which, if you act them out in the world, will propagate you in the right place. Like the world will give you good feedback. Look for them and then do away with the toxic one, replace them with the useful. Because like we said, you have to believe in something.
Okay.
You can't believe in nothing.
Yeah.
So I think I'll stop there. Those are enough. If you apply all those, you'll find a way, obviously, to cultivate that self-awareness. And you can also rely on people. But this one is hard because people don't tell you the truth.
It depends on the people. So you need to find this. Like, may rely on you guys.
Yeah, but because like there's some
to
feedback
become aware
given.
of some things. Because you'll tell me some actions that it's a habit to me, but you're like, Caleb, you do this thing
a lot. Yeah.
So I become aware of it, I can work on it.
And if you look into that book now, The Laws of Human Nature, I think it's chapter 14. It's about a group mentality, group dynamic. Because now that one, I normally see it a lot.
Group mentality.
Like when I'm chilling with you, let's say, like there's certain words I say, and even someone can say, Caleb, usiken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Checky. Who says that a lot? It's you.
Mm-hmm.
But I find myself saying that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unconsciously, I've picked it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get?
So you pick up behaviors of other people.
Yeah,
around you a lot.
unconsciously. Because you're trying to fit in.
Mm-hmm. yeah. You're always trying to fit in.
You're
Certain
trying to fit in.
You'll act differently.
Exactly.
Fit in.
So there's the role playing, your acting persona.
Yeah.
Then there's trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Reality of the group.
Okay.
So the two, you really have to be cautious again what you pick up from people, because you could pick up good things and you could pick up bad things.
So you should be aware of them.
Be aware of them.
Taras?
On the question I asked.
Psychological, yeah.
For me, I think my greatest thing that has helped me work on my psychology well is working on my system, because that's the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
The moment your system doesn't work, your psychology will always be a problem to you, because you'll always be facing these losses.
Mm-hmm.
You'll always be facing these big losses that are always bigger than your winners or something. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to take time to work on my system.
Mm-hmm.
Took a break from trading, did a lot of chat work, backtesting. Yeah, working on data, trying to find weaknesses in my system, even before I put my emotions into it.
Yeah.
So I worked on my system, trying to get data from it, simulation and stuff, backtesting, and it really helped me create confidence in that system, because like now you're trading from a point that yes, it's a simulation, but even pilots start learning how to fly with a
Simulator.
with a simulator plane.
That's a good one.
So think that data collection and analysis, then breaking down that system to position sizing, also like understanding how I'll position size on my system, how I'll handle entries and exits. So I worked a lot on my system first. Then number two is I detached. Okay, like a lot of things I know I can't control them. I can't control like not being like I detach from things like losses and profits. So my P&L doesn't matter a lot to me. So a trade is either a winner or a loser. So if I enter that trade already, in my mind, I know like this trade, my main expectation is a certain risk on it. So if that risk appears, I had already pre-planned it, and I don't have any attachment to it. See, so it's more of just outcomes of my job, not who I am, not like because I'm trading a system. You see, so it's not who I am. It's a system I'm trading. So that system actually can even be automized, maybe
Automated.
automated. So it can work even without my human brain. So I think that really helped me also minimize the human fallibilities of like falling short of those human fallibilities, those human natures we've talked about. So I think number one is creating confidence in your system. If your system doesn't work, everything won't work fast. So take time to create a system.
Okay, work on it.
Then number two, as I've said, always intertwine risk management with psychology. Don't let one of them fumble. If they fumble, it will fumble even the system. You see, now you'll think the system maybe is not working, but the thing that is not working is just a small aspect on risk management that fucked up your psychology, and that everything fucked up the whole system. You see,
I get you.
So like you run into big drawdowns that you maybe can't come out of, like a 40-50% drawdown, 60% drawdown, such big losses you easily can't come out of them. So because as we were talking about with drawdowns, we always say the negative sum game. If you lose 50% of your account, you need to make 100% to go back to break even. See, so like it's like if your journey of trading was to be a year, it's now 2 years. Because if you are to make that 50% this year, now you have to make another 50% to go back to where you started trading. So I think the main thing about trading, like the main thing I'll say that has helped me a lot is, and I can tell other new traders, is take time to form a positive system, a positive expectancy system. that maybe you'll forward test it, or you'll stress test it, but first of all, understand how markets work and how you'll approach the markets.
True.
That's number one. If you don't have that, psychology hautaiona hata. It'll always be a problem.
And
So
what's one of the ways to do that?
to do what?
To form that positive expectancy system?
Positive expense system. I think one is experience, because you can't create it in a month or two. So you need to have a lot of experience in markets. One, chart time. You need to understand general market cycles. You need to understand market participants, how they also think. Now you need to go back now to data collection. Now data collection, statistics, finding your hit rate, finding how you will position size on your trades, like so much that you, as I was saying, like your trading has to be systematic. So creating that criteria, A, B, C, D, E has to happen. Everything is independent. Risk reward has to be like this. The setup has to be at this point, maybe for me to be alert. Maybe this form of candle has to be there. See, like a lot of things have to tick for you to make a trade. A trade is not just maybe gold is up 1% today. Just get in. See, Ati Ken said on the Zoom he's expecting GU to fall. Let's sell. That's not a system. Like it takes time to develop a system. Then also you also psychologically also you need to know your weaknesses. So for you to detach from them, for you to work on them, be self-aware of them, because detachment also you can't detach from something you're not self-aware of. So you need to know, hey, me, I'm fearful, and what I need to know is I need to detach from my fears in markets. So like it will take you time, like through I say it's mental gym. Like your brain is so used into that pain until it's not painful anymore. See,
it's called mental exposure.
Yeah, like you expose your gym anyway, you train, bro. Loss.
You can use your imagination by the
yeah, exactly.
Train
like,
it.
Yeah. You can imagine yourself losing
10 trades, 20 trades in a row.
Your brain can't tell reality and
Imagination.
Imaginations, yeah.
The same feeling is there. So you lose too, na lose kwa akili yako.
Unaipenda hiyo, love your losses, accept them, and you book them very fast. The moment loss inakusumbua, you want to move your stop loss.
You just accept.
You want market may move 10 pips, you want to break even. My friend, it will be hard. He gave ni ngumu bana. It takes some money years. Then as is it Bernard Baruch who says markets are there to fool most of the people most of the time?
Yeah,
so
I don't know who said it, but yeah.
If you fall into those moves in markets, like a market moves down, you're fearful. Really? Market moves up, itakufool, my friend, you'll be doing everything in that market. So
now that you're not even managing the market, you're managing emotions.
Yeah, exactly. So like you need to take a lot of time to understand how markets work first.
Cool.
Understand like this is where people are being trapped. A lot of sellers are here. Most of them will be putting their stop losses here. This is a liquidity level. If you don't know those things, my friend, you don't understand value. Go to Apple. It will take you time. But yeah, me, one thing I always say in trading, have a long-term thinking of it. Like even as you start learning, being an intermediate, and even if you want to go into that pro side, like you need to have a long-term thinking, like 30-year, 40-year plan. Imagine yourself trading ukiwa 70, bro. Imagine your kitu. But I want you to work on that heavily. Like you are the hedge fund manager of the biggest hedge fund in Africa.
Billions.
Yeah, like managing $100 billion. Such things. Bro, hata Wakenya wengi hapa wana trade wanakatua $1,000. Hati hasa wana fund 1,200.
Yes, Vasha.
Wanze
unaona hizo vitu hizo ni myopia. Akili yako yani hata unafikiria tu Naivasha. Akili yako hata ijui Naivasha itapita to the line.
Markets don't care.
Yeah, like it's the trajectory of life, but you need a balance of two also. Don't really focus on the long term, moment to moment experiences.
Solomon says, you remember? So don't be too righteous, don't go to the extreme.
Exactly. Balance is important, but if you don't have a balance, because now the problem is you're in the extreme of short term thinking. And to wind up also, I think I'd say work on your belief systems. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
What you believe in, maybe is working for you or it's fucking you up.
Believe the last is what is happening to most people.
Yeah, so you
The
need
latter.
to really work on yourself. Yep.
So that's it, Russ. You done?
Yeah, I'm done. Hey, you called me Ras today.
I always call you Russ. What do I call you? Rastafari.
Lawi Taras.
Lawi.
Aye.
Yeah. That's it, man. That's it. Ken, outro. I do my usual. That's it from us, guys. I'm your interesting co-host alongside my less interesting co-hosts, Taras
Yeah.
and Ken. But that's it from us, guys. Next time, I'm sure we'll look for more people, psychologists,
Yeah.
talk about
Also,
this. Go deeper, because
if you're a trader suffering from psychology, Ken is the best psychologist.
I can't help you. I just chose to reflect on your own experience.
No, like you can give this
In
person
guidance.
some nuggets. You can give this person some nuggets.
I don't feel like I've really thought hard about it. I can only like tell you, okay, work on ABCD. But
Exactly.
a big part of progress is just reflecting.
Now imagine
There's
that,
more
bro,
value in reflecting.
How will that
your own
person progress
experiences.
even if you don't tell him work on this and this is what is fucking you up? See,
Okay.
that 1 hour talk,
It'll
their
enlighten
triggers,
you.
will really enlighten them.
the same way you read Mark Douglas.
Yeah.
Enda ukae tu chini tufanye. Ukae chini tu uone hivi tunafanya ni madness. Acha
Tricky.
nitulie kwanza. Hata mimi niko na madness zangu by the way.
You also suffering.
Hata mimi napambana huko working on myself.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can find us at Jayco Towers, 17th floor. That's where offices are. Come and learn from us how to trade and how to even if you want to invest and not really trade, we can give you advice here and there. So make sure to find us at Jayco Towers, 17th floor. Anyway, that's it from us, guys. We'll see you on our next episode. Have a wonderful weekend. See ya.